So you're ready to write up your Mobil lab report. You're in luck. This is one of our easiest lab reports to write up. So you have figured out where does your thing balance. That's the first thing you need to do. Once you're done with that, now the rest of it's kind of putting it together. So we need a descriptive title. Tell me what you did in this lab. What is going on here? Be very descriptive. Make sure you get that okay for me. Just bring up the sheet. I check some numbers. Make sure your distance from the left end to the balance point is the correct answer. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to find your experimental balance point. You're going to put it on here. You're going to find where is that yellow string at? Where is that balance point at? And then we're going to do the absolute error. Now, absolute error is a little different than percent error, and it's important that we know why are we doing absolute error instead of percent error. The reason we're doing absolute error, the difference between our two values, our calculated and our experimental, and not doing percent, is because if I take the absolute error between the measure from the left end and where it balances, and I take the absolute error as if I measured from the right end and where it balanced, I'll get the same answer. But if I do percent error from the left end or percent error from the right end, I'll get a different number. And so we got to be very careful about that. In that those two numbers, we could kind of manipulate our data, and that's not a good thing. So we're going to use absolute error here. If your absolute error comes out greater than 0.5 centimeters, okay, so that's about that far. All right. If it comes out that big, what you're going to want to do is find a source. It's not your calculations. That's what the OK told us. Okay, so it has to be something else. Maybe go ahead, get that meter stick out, measure that length of the stick again. Make sure you have that length right. Make sure your mass values are right. Maybe recheck. Did I actually get it at the experimental point? When I was trying to hang it, did one of my toys maybe move a little bit? Okay, recheck that experimental point. I'm not asking, if one of these changes, you don't have to kind of go through all the calculations again. I'm not interested in that this time. Just tell me, hey, you know, this is why I got that. I found this is a difference. I found this is a difference. Or if it's your experimental point, yeah, by all means, just kind of redo the balance point, redo your absolute error. But if it's one of these, don't worry about redoing all the calculations, getting the OK again. Just go ahead and state that, hey, the length of the stick was actually, you know, a centimeter longer than I thought it was, or whatever it may be. All right, and just write up something about this end result. If your absolute error was 0, great, you're done. If your absolute error was greater than 0.5 centimeters, you got to do a little extra work. There you go.